Hello from the ISO Central Secretary in Geneva, Switzerland, and welcome. Today we're talking about ISO 14001-2026, the new edition of ISO 14001. ISO 14001-2026 Environmental Management Systems has just been published, updating the world's leading standard for environmental management. In this video, I'll walk you through what this new edition means, what has changed, and how your organization can get ready. I'll also share a useful resource you can download to help you understand and prepare for the updates. If you'd like to jump to a specific topic, feel free to use the timestamps in the video. What is ISO 14001 and who uses it? ISO 14001 is the international standard for environmental management systems, or EMS. It provides organizations with a structured framework to identify, manage, and improve their environmental impacts in a systematic way. Today, more than 670,000 certified organizations around the world, from small businesses to multinationals and across a wide range of sectors, use ISO 14001 to guide their environmental management practices. Organizations adopt it to manage environmental risks and impacts, improve operational efficiency, reduce waste and resource consumption, strengthen regulatory compliance, and enhance credibility with customers, regulators, and stakeholders. At its core, ISO 14001 helps organizations move beyond reactive compliance toward a more proactive, structured approach to environmental responsibility. So, what is ISO 14001-2026? ISO 14001-2026 is the updated edition of the globally used Environmental Management Systems, or EMS, standard. You'll notice the 2026 in the title. This refers to the year the standard was last updated. The new edition refines the trusted 2015 edition with clearer guidance, easier navigation, and alignment with today's environmental priorities, such as climate change, biodiversity, and resource use. What's actually changed in ISO 14001-2026? The 2026 edition is an update of the 2015 edition with greater clarity and stronger alignment with today's environmental sustainability priorities and improved ease of use for organizations of all types and sizes. Some of the key improvements include clear guidance and usability, making it easier to understand and implement, including for small and medium-sized businesses. A stronger focus on leadership and organizational culture, with top management playing a key, visible role in environmental performance. Clear expectations around change management requirements, helping organizations manage both internal and external changes. An expanded focus on external providers, including supply chains and outsourced processes. Stronger alignment with environmental priorities such as climate change, biodiversity, and resource efficiency and pollution prevention. And improved integration with other ISO standards, making it easier to align with quality, health and safety, and other management systems. Overall, these updates make ISO 14001-2026 clear to navigate, easier to apply, and simpler to integrate across organizations. If you'd like a clear overview of all these updates, you can download our free brochure using the link on the screen. It's a handy guide to help your organization understand and prepare for ISO 14001-2026. So, how does ISO 14001-2026 improve performance? ISO 14001 has always helped organizations improve both environmental performance and business outcomes, and the updated edition continues this mission. By implementing an environmental management system aligned with ISO 14001, organizations can reduce environmental risks, optimize resource use, lower operational costs, strengthen regulatory compliance, and enhance credibility and stakeholder trust. This new edition empowers organizations to turn environmental commitment into tangible results, resilience, and long-term value. Rather, they are established environmental management systems users or just beginning their sustainability journey. Are there new requirements in the 2026 edition? Yes, the 2026 edition includes new and clarified requirements, mainly to align with ISO 14001 and the updated harmonized structure used across all ISO management system standards. often referred to as MSS. This harmonized structure helps ensure greater consistency between management system standards, easier integration for organizations using multiple ISO standards, and clearer, more coherent requirements. In practice, these updates do not represent a fundamental change to ISO 14001. Instead, they clarify existing expectations, introduce refinements such as a clearer focus on planning for change, and improve alignment, structure, and wording to reflect current best practice. How much work is required to transition from ISO 14001-2015? For most organizations, the transition will be moderate. There is strong continuity with the 2015 edition, and the changes are primarily clarifications that make implementation easier. How can organizations make environmental management part of their strategy? ISO 14001-2026 places a strong emphasis on embedding environmental management into organizational strategy and decision-making. In practice, environmental considerations are most effective when integrated into operational planning, risk management, leadership priorities, and long-term strategic objectives. This reflects a shift from a more compliance-driven approach to a strategy-led approach, helping ensure environmental management becomes part of day-to-day operations rather than a standalone compliance activity. Does the update require more documentation? So, organizations still have flexibility in deciding the level of documentation needed for an effective environmental management system. Some processes need to be documented, and others are only documented where it supports effectiveness. How does ISO 14001-2026 address climate change, biodiversity, and resource availability? The 2026 edition strengthens how these topics are considered by requiring organizations to take relevant environmental conditions into account within their environmental management system. In practice, ISO 14001 provides a framework to help organizations address their environmental issues in a holistic and prioritized way. Climate change is one important factor, but it's not the only one. Organizations also need to consider things like pollution, resource availability, biodiversity, and ecosystem health, based on what is most relevant to their environmental activities and commitments. As the core standard of the ISO 14000 family, ISO 14001 provides the overall framework, while other standards in the family offer more detailed guidance on specific environmental topics. Why does ISO 14001-2026 matter for long-term performance? ISO 14001 remains the leading international standard for environmental management systems, trusted by organizations worldwide. Thanks to ISO's globally recognized platform, built on international expertise and consensus, organizations can be confident they are using a credible and robust approach to environmental management. The new edition builds on this strong foundation, providing clearer guidance, easier implementation, and stronger alignment with today's environmental challenges. Overall, ISO 14001-2026 helps organizations everywhere turn environmental commitment into performance, resilience, and lasting value, rather they're long-time users or just getting started with environmental management. So, how does the new edition integrate with other ISO management system standards? ISO 14001-2026 aligns with the common structure used across ISO management system standards, often referred to as MSS. These are standards like ISO 14001, ISO 9001 for quality management, and ISO 45001 for occupational health and safety. They all follow a shared structure, which helps organizations manage different aspects of their operations in a consistent way. This shared approach helps ensure greater consistency between standards and makes it easier for organizations using multiple ISO standards to align their processes and objectives. It also reduces duplication, simplifies implementation and maintenance, and supports more integrated, coherent, and future-ready management systems, ultimately helping organizations improve both business performance and environmental outcomes. Why were some terms and wording changed? Some wording has been updated to improve consistency across clauses, Keep the concepts easy to translate globally. Ensure language accessibility to organizations of all sizes, including SMEs, and align with the harmonized structure used across all ISO management system standards. So, what should organizations do now that ISO 14001:2026 has been published? The new edition refines the existing framework, and for most organizations, the transition will be smooth. There is strong continuity with the 2015 edition, and changes are mainly clarifications that make implementation easier. The core principles remain unchanged, so the transition is evolutionary rather than disruptive. In practice, organizations should review their systems to ensure they meet the clarified requirements and updated environmental priorities. For those just starting their environmental sustainability journey, ISO 14001:2026 provides a clear, more practical, and accessible framework to embed environmental management from the ground up. Preparing early can help ensure a smooth transition or implementation, allowing organizations to fully benefit from the updated standard. ISO 14001:2026 gives organizations of all sizes a clear, practical framework to turn environmental commitment into real results. Stay ahead by embedding these updates into your strategy and start making a measurable difference for your organization and for the planet. To learn more about ISO 14001 and how it can support your environmental performance, click on the link here. Or if you'd like a clear overview of the updates, you can download the ISO 14001:2026 brochure. Thanks for watching.